They said this child would destroy them. So they sent him to die in the evil forest. But the forest did not kill him. It raised him to become a warrior. And when he returned, they realized their greatest fear was their only hope for survival.
Long before war drums shook the land, there existed a powerful African kingdom called Umuoku, a land ruled by tradition, courage, and ancestral law. At the heart of the kingdom ruled King Namdi, a man whose voice carried authority like thunder. For many years, the king and queen prayed for a child, calling upon gods older than memory itself. On the night the child was born, the wind screamed, the fire turned blue, and the earth itself trembled. The child did not cry. He opened his eyes, and destiny looked back at the world. Nature responded to him. Life listened. But not all blessings are welcomed. Fear crept quietly into the hearts of the people, and fear, once planted, grows quickly. The rains vanished. Hunger followed, and soon death knocked at the doors of the innocent. The oracle spoke, and fear chose its sacrifice. The prince was declared cursed, and exile was chosen over truth. "If I return," he whispered, "it will be because destiny demands it." Ahead of him, the forest waited, and far above, the gods smiled. He stepped beyond the world he knew and into a forest that breathed and watched. It did not welcome him, nor did it attack. It waited. Every root threatened his step, every whisper tested his courage. Fear clung to him, but still he rose, because unseen eyes were watching. From the shadows, the earth itself spoke. "Child of exile, you are not cast here to die." And for the first time, fear weakened. Thunder followed. A god of storm declared his fate. The trials of man are over. The trials of truth begin. Ikenga trembled, but he did not break. The forest became his teacher. Pain shaped him. Failure hardened him. Years passed, and the boy faded into memory. Strength met discipline. Fear burned away under divine fire. Marks of the gods were carved into his body and spirit.
Fear hardened into strength. Pain became discipline. Failure became fire. The forest no longer tested him. It trained him. The boy became a youth. The youth became a warrior. Each fall demanded he rise stronger than before. The sun god marked him with divine symbols. Fear burned away, leaving courage. At last, the final trial was revealed. A sword would be forged, not for revenge, but for balance. From storm and flame, Ikenga Oku was born, the fire of destiny. A weapon of the gods, he grasped the blade. The forest bowed. The boy who was cast away was gone. Far away, the village that exiled him slept in peace, unaware that their greatest protector had been born anew, and that destiny was already walking home.
The evil forest had grown quiet, too quiet. The whispers that once guided Ikenga now carried warnings, carried fear. Something beyond the trees was calling his name. The sword of destiny stirred. Ikenga Oku trembled like a living heart. War was coming, and it would not wait. The gods revealed themselves once more, not as teachers, but as witnesses. The balance of the world was breaking. Far beyond the forest, a devourer of kingdoms marched. Obakuro, crusher of gods, breaker of lands, set his eyes on Umuoku. The village that cast him away now stood unprotected. King Namdi felt the weight of his greatest mistake. Every dream reminded him of the sun he sent into darkness. At the forest edge, the trees parted. The evil forest did not resist Ikenga's steps. It bowed. The exile was over. From a hill overlooking his homeland, Ikenga watched the land that had once rejected him. Smoke rose weakly from the village. The air tasted of fear. Then the first enemy scouts arrived. Ikenga did not shout a warning. He did not announce his return. He became the storm. Lightning followed his blade as he struck. Shields shattered. Fire burst from the ground. Enemy soldiers fell before they could understand what had found them. The people watched in silence. The cursed prince was gone. A guardian stood in his place. The enemy retreated, broken and terrified. Ikenga stood alone in the field, breathing steadily. Then he turned and walked toward the gates of the village that had once rejected him. The gates opened. King Namdi stepped forward, older, thinner, disbelief filling his eyes. "I have not come for apologies," Ikenga said. "Your enemy is still coming." Far away, in a war camp lit by fire and blood, Obakuro listened as his scouts failed to return. He smiled slowly and tightened his grip on his massive blade. "So," he said, "the gods have finally sent me a challenge." And the drums of war began to beat. The war came at dawn. Smoke choked the sky and fear crept through every compound of Umuoku. Above the chaos stood one warrior. The boy they exiled now faced the storm alone. The sword of destiny answered the heavens. The enemy advanced without mercy. They did not know they were charging into judgment. Ikenga became the storm. Every strike carried exile, training, and divine wrath. The people watched in silence. The boy they cursed had become their shield. The king's heart broke open. He saw the son he had abandoned, now greater than kings. Then came the devourer himself, Obakuro, monstrous and relentless, casting a shadow over the land. Steel met steel. Fire met shadow. The battle of destiny had begun. Every strike of Ikenga Oku radiated with the power of the gods themselves. Pain tested him. Even the strongest warrior can fall. But it is rising again that defines a hero. He remembered the forest, the gods, and the boy he once was. And he rose stronger. The gods answered his call. Lightning infused his sword. Fire ignited his spirit, and the devourer faltered. No force of darkness could withstand the combined power of exile, training, and destiny. Exhausted but unbroken, Ikenga stood among the wreckage. The boy they had rejected had returned as their guardian, and the world would never forget his name. Even the king, humbled and grateful, acknowledged the son he had cast away. The village cheered, lifting their warrior high. Fear had turned to reverence, and despair into hope. He returned to the place that once rejected him, and the village stood still. He did not rule with fear or anger. He led by example. Those you reject today may save you tomorrow. Wisdom is knowing when to cast away pride. Not every exile is a punishment. Some are preparation.
Stories like this are meant to be remembered. Subscribe and walk with us into the next legend.